his own teammate, but it doesn't really matter right now. Jones just still go, and he finds 3 as well. Might do the smoke and finds 2. That might just be it for EU's finest. Disgusting from Dragons. Lovely stuff from Sergio. Oh my god. Saki, TJ, and Breaker, you'll go back to the respawn. Oh my god, Breaker finds 3. TJ just finds 3 massive kills for his team. Week number 3 of the EU Gears Pro League. Welcome to it. I'm Chris Tunn. I'm here with Fru. And it should be a good one. We've seen some back and forth games, so to speak, but mostly, you know, they have went in the direction we expected. Through this week, though, apart from one game, we do have one that is a level playing field, we think.
Yeah, the second game coming up will definitely be a bit closer than the first game, all things considered that we've seen so far.
Well, I mean, we hope so.
There's potential for a very big upset here, but we have got first versus fourth in the league today for that first game, and then second versus third obviously coming up after that.
Yeah, it would be typical of Obey, though, to spoil the party, wouldn't it?
It would.
You know, it's one of these things that EU's finest. They've looked so dominant at times, but we've seen last season that they can be susceptible to a little bit of a split up, but of course it is going to be used finest against Obey first, then Rated R against Regal. Sorry, Rated R against Regal Reserve. That was right. I
Nailed
got it
it
right first time. I don't know why. You know what? It's a Monday. We're maybe just going to ease ourselves into it. I've had a long weekend. I've been busy in another unnamed esport, but let's have a look at the table as we were saying. EU's finest sitting at the top there too, and no surprises there. Rated R and Regal Reserve tied up. That will be different by the end of today, of course, but Obey Alliance, they will have a quite big task on their hands to try and get themselves off the bottom of that leaderboard for.
Yeah, 0 points, no maps won. They're the only team really not to win a map just yet, and I mean the round difference as well speaks for quite a lot. 11 positive in EU finest favour, and then -8 down there at Obey Alliance. It's a big swing, and they've got a huge mountain to overcome if they are to win this upcoming game.
Yeah, it's looking unlikely, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those things where we can talk about potential weaknesses with EU's finest, but really we just haven't seen any, and we haven't seen enough from Obey Alliance. Obey, you know what, in a couple of games they've been relatively close. We went around number 9s, etc., etc., but they ultimately just can't close it out. That's
one of the things, right? They had 2 round 9 games last week, basically 5-4, 5-4 against the Regal Reserve, and that, you know, it showed signs of promise. Ashen's had a great series of games, and there was a few moments of life there, but to be -8 and have gone to 2 round 9s, that says even more.
Yeah, it does say a lot, actually. Very well pointed out, but you should do this full time. Anyway, let's have a look at the stats from last week and see which way we thought it did go. And yes, okay, Crazed played quite well. 4.19 KDA, 67 eliminations, 16 deaths. Good Lord. I mean, above and beyond everybody else as well. Hydron and Phelpsy not too far behind. Score per map, though, Ashen's up there. I mean, look, there's some guys from Obey on here, but it's...
yeah, I mean,
you know, they did have a long game as well. But it's one of those things, though. It's like, you've already fallen to the 2 teams who are in the middle of the park.
Yep.
Now you're going up against the so-called big dogs online. It's a tough ask, it has to be said.
Yep, I think for me the left-hand column, the top KDA there, that's the most important one at this point. It gives a semblance of how many kills we're getting. It gives a semblance of how many assists we're getting as well, because it does count both kills and assists in that total.
Yeah.
And honestly, the rest are all stats that kind of do rely on how long the match goes at the moment, right? So score goes up the longer the match goes on, that kind of thing. So take those Obey. Those Obey faces with a pinch of salt, and focus on that left-hand side. Craze coming in with a huge KDA, and that's a long way above the league average. League average right now is 2, pretty much bang on. If you get rid of the 2 highest, 2 lowest, it drops to 1.95. So it's still way above average, and a fantastic performance from him. The last couple of weeks.
Yeah, unbelievable. He was so good last season as well, wasn't he? When he was pretty much ahead of the stats the whole way through.
Yep.
In terms of online Gears of War right now, Crazed is looking fantastic in this Pro League. Let's see if we can continue. And as I said, it is going to be them going up against Obey Alliance first and foremost. I mean, okay, let's try and break it down somewhat, because we're looking towards EU's finest. Yep. There's no reason we shouldn't. Is there anything for you that a potential weakness in there somewhere, that Obey can potentially exploit? Because I just don't really see it.
Right now, it's their team game. It's so strong. They're over 130 eliminations above the next team. And bear in mind, that's over 2 weeks of play. That's a huge number to overcome.
And I think one thing that'll put those numbers where they are is just that their team lancering.
Yeah, exactly that. They're always firing for each other. They're always working for each other. And you got to remember, their games have been quick. So to have that many eliminations above the next highest team, I mean, that is Obey as well, by the way. That is the next highest team. is pretty outstanding for me. The only thing you can really do is try and find a weak link. Right now, Jack is the lowest performer, but he is still in the top 7. So like it's so difficult to break this team down. You really need to be firing on all cylinders. You need everybody to be on par, and you need to match them at the team game. You can't let them get into their motion, and it's so difficult against such a well-structured, well-practiced team.
If anybody is going to get into their faces, who do you think it is on OB Alliance?
Honestly, right now, Ashens. He's the only one realistically that is keeping up with their pace. He's matching them in eliminations. He's matching them in KDA. He's actually up there, breaking that trend of the top 5 being EU's finest for the first time in many weeks in this Pro League. So he is the one that I'm looking for to really make an impact here. And Jay Rage needs to step it up.
Yeah.
Him and Breaker have not had the best couple of weeks. They had a fantastic qualification tournament. I want them to see them hit that form once again.
And I want to see maybe a little bit more from TJ. We've seen sparks of it, haven't we, of what we've seen from last season, but maybe not the consistency that we've seen from him. I said last season, it's one of these things where you can't rely on him too much. Obviously, we've seen him putting up insane numbers.
Yep.
In the last year, I keep thinking to myself, it's not
last
last
quarter.
Year, but it is last quarter, isn't it? Hey, it's gonna be a long show. Anyway, TJ, he had been playing really, really well in the previous quarter, but so far not quite living up to those expectations. But I would say he hasn't played bad. But we need to see that level again if they are going to win this game.
Along all the statistical leaderboards, TJ is pretty much bang in the middle. Like he's around that 10th, 11th spot in pretty much every single category. So he's not having a bad series, all things considered. But he's not having the standout performance that we saw last quarter. That's true.
Yeah, and you need a spark in there, don't you? You need the spark to get you off the bottom of that leaderboard right now, which is where they are. The thing is for them is there's no pressure in this game. I think everyone, ourselves included, will be looking at this one and saying we do think they are going to go on to lose this. It's going to be a very, very difficult task, of course. But let's have a look at the picks and bans as soon as we can and figure out which way we think this one is going to go, because I think they'll have some bearing on it. But there it is. You said it straight away. You said it before broadcast. You were like, Exhibit will be gone straight away, and OB Alliance do get rid of that. EU's finest do not want to play District. I feel like we have seen them on it, but maybe not with much success for it.
Yeah, it's one of those maps that District can go both ways. It's quite difficult to break a team down once they're set up. And if you've got an on-fire Obey, they could have probably had a little bit of hope on that map. Yeah, as you said, Exhibit, absolutely no surprise that's gone from me. We've seen EU's finest play it. Played very, very well. They've got an 80+ win percentage in terms of the rounds won on that map.
I haven't seen much Vasgar from EU's finest.
No, they've banned it out in a game, and it's been banned out against them, so I believe that's one of the reasons we've not seen it so far. So it'd be interesting to see that map come into the rotation for sure. Bunker, that's the map that Obey Alliance did beat EU's finest on way back when in the original qualification tournament.
And they got smoked on it.
They got smoked on it then in the quarter. So be interesting to see how that goes, because that actually played out quite interestingly last time, from what I remember. There's a lot of incendiary play and kind of differentiating strats across the board. So be interesting to see that. And Icebound, no surprise there.
Yeah.
I think it was a good map for EU's finest last time they played it against Rated R.
Yeah, they clutched up in the last round, didn't they, just to get that one done. Obey Alliance, mixed fortunes. I know they did send it to around number 9 in their previous game that they did play on that, if my memory serves me correctly. So Asylum and Training Grounds going not much of it. I say that, EU's finest, banning Training Grounds, I don't know. It's a toss-up at this point, isn't it? But looking at Asylum, that one going from Obey does make sense, because we know how good EU's finest are on that map. So the maps are in, the players are in the lobby. We're getting this one started very, very shortly. I can see they're all in there, so we should be getting into it in a second. But let's go with the prediction. I mean, I know which way you're going to go, but I do indeed have to ask for. Sorry.
It's all right. You can ask. I will go with a 2-0 to EU's finest in this one. I think everything kind of pointing towards EU's finest in this matchup. They've been outslaying. They've been working those objectives better, working as a team better. I can't see Obey really clutching up this. If they do, fantastic. It makes for a fantastic quarter. But
and it would certainly mix the standings up as well.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I have to go with the EU's finest on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same. And one of the big reasons for that is because Crazed is playing insane. Let's have a look at that head-to-head. Crazed against Ashens. And we said it at the beginning of the show that Ashens is the guy that needs to turn up for Obey Alliance. He's been playing fairly well so far. But is he going to be able to match that man on the left-hand side of your screens there for?
It's a very difficult ask, that's for sure. Crazed, obviously having a phenomenal team around him and playing at the top of his game right now as well, makes it so difficult to be clawing towards those top tallies there. Eliminations 31 a game, that's a huge tally. And down the board you can see Crazed just having the edge, but as I mentioned, does have that team around him. And Ashens has been performing extremely well, especially last week. He had a fantastic couple of maps. And that's the reason why he's up there in this head-to-head today. He's the one player on Obey that is really matching them statistically.
Yeah, let's see if you can keep up with those statistics in this game, though. I think that's the question. We can start looking at stats a little bit more at the end of this week, because then everybody would have played each other, so we've got a good round setup of statistics to look into, so we'll maybe put more bearing on them as we go further into the winter quarter, of course. But here are your maps: Vasgar, Bunker, and Icebound. Icebound, I don't think we're going to say it, in all honesty. I think this is a 2-0 for EU's finest. I know Obey Alliance will be shouting and screaming at us now for writing them off before it's even started, but I mean, it's so difficult. It's not even about Obey, it's just hard to go against the EU's finest. That's the problem. It's nothing personal. EU's finest right now just look really good.
Yeah, last week they looked to be at the top of their game. They look phenomenal. They look like they're in good form, going through this quarter, heading towards Mexico, and that's the main thing, right? They need to be hitting that stride for that major, essentially. It's it's a difficult ask for any of the other teams to really be matching that stride. It's well known that at the top of the game they are a phenomenal team. They're a top 3-4 global team. Didn't have the best performance in San Diego, so didn't really didn't really stand up to that. But they're aiming to get back there. This is their first step in that ladder, right? Is to really make it count here in the European Pro League, and hopefully Obey can match them as well. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on here on Vasgar.
Well, EU's finest, we're going to get kicking into this one. Can they get back up to the top of their game where they were? They certainly look like they're playing very, very well online at this moment in time, but it has to be said, they did well in the Pro League last season as well, and did seem to make a difference when we did get over to San Diego. But maybe Mexico is different. Different continent, different look. I'm grasping at straws maybe for them, but
they've had good performances over there as well before.
Yeah, very true. But as we do kick off into this one, OB Alliance are the ones with A and B, although they will lose A very, very quickly. No kills on the board quite yet.
Nothing just yet.
Slow start.
It is a pretty slow start, very even on points, but you do see this offense coming in here from EU's finest. They've backed Obey up pretty much into their spawn already, just trying to lock in this A cap, and it's a difficult one here because there's a lot of cover for Obey just to kind of keep themselves pretty whilst they go and try and fight this out.
Here comes the flash.
Jack looks like he's going to be one taken out, but he's managed to get away as well. And this is the EU's finest kill train, just
clean as a whistle, wasn't it?
Yeah, steaming through.
Now they move on through. They're looking to go over towards B. Try and clean this one up. Breaker is now dead. It's easy kills, and it doesn't look like this round is going to go in any direction that OB wanted to. Here comes the domination coming down through, but they have actually respawned back up and will just move straight over towards A, and we'll get that decap through. So EU's finest putting all their eggs in the B basket there. And unfortunately not able to quite lock the domination down, but they do have that 2-cap and they're set up well for it.
Yeah, they're set up well for it, and honestly, Obey have done well to just rotate very, very quickly here. You saw Saki just kind of leave the A hill and head on round straight over to C, and they've done enough. I think they just need to be able to get back now. You can see on that mini map at the top right, EU's finest, they are stacking up to try and make a push on this A hill. Obey, they've noticed that. They're looking for a defense here, but they do have Tofask ahead of them.
Let's see. Push comes through. Cover is solid from Obey Alliance, but the shots are even better from EU's finest. They aren't actually back on down here. Shot's going to come through. The kills are just about traded in Obey's favor. Can they find a couple more here as well? Craze says no, as does Phelpsy. Two of them go down. Craze finds a second as well. They just about clean up with the numbers against them. EU's finest. Grinding this round out, but they've never not been in the lead. Phelpsy now go with the decap over towards C. Sending somebody over towards B or B, but he already has been dropped. He is going to get in there to deny the domination, but it may just deny the inevitable as EU's finest get the first one.
Yeah, never in any real trouble there, EU's finest. They they had close points, as you said, but realistically they had full control of the map there. Obey looked to be pretty good when they made that rotation round to take the C hill, but they just were not quick enough to get back. And then that's the one thing you can't be. You're outdone here by EU's finest is the speed of rotation. You've got to be matching them, because if you let them get that front foot forward, they're going to take the hill from you straight away. First drop's going to come in. I expect grenades to be dropped in here. Smoke grenade's going to be placed there on EU's finest side. Perhaps a mirror match here on Obey's. Yep.
No surprises there. We'll see those get built up as the rounds do indeed go on, but good start from EU's finest is what they would want to see, and realistically, it was just the slaying ability, wasn't it? That's all it was. They didn't necessarily out-rotate them or need to outplay them. It was just a case of winning these battles, these team fights that did come on through. Breaker now having to set up win for the rest of his team. Maybe making the decision to go towards A. Here they go. The flash is out. It's going to cause some disruption just about in the Obey ranks, and they will be able to push up to this wall here now. The US Finest do have to back on down, but they're in great cover as well. Already have the point. The advantage lies with them. Obey are the ones that have to make the move. Saki gets cut down. We'll have to go back to pick him up now. J-Rage is down as well. It's just a Lancer fire from EU's Finest. They just combine so well. The bodies are hitting the floor. Is anybody even going to get out of this one? Players being dropped. They forced them away. That's just classic EU's Finest.
Ashens did manage to get out, save his life a little bit here, but in the end, he's going to have EU's Finest chasing down upon him. I think Seahill seems to be the one they're giving up now. They're going to rotate over towards B. You can see Breaker leading that charge, pushing around on the back of the tank here. Just trying to establish a bit of control. Managed to get this hill now, so won't get dominated just yet, but it is a bit of a dire situation for Obey. They've had to give up their home hill, and this is quite a difficult one to push through onto. You can see them actually making the larger rotation all the way around to EU's Finest home, and now we're going to see the battle up here once again.
Oh, it's a quick one here from Obey Alliance. We've seen teams set up and try and just get this Lancer fire in, but they know they have the numbers. EU's Finest will then try to out-rotate them the other direction. Crazed being chased down, but does have help with Jack. Crimson is up here as well. Obey Alliance are going to keep on going, though. Ashens, he said he's the guy that maybe needs to turn up for Obey if they want a chance in this game. Some good shots down there with the Lancer. We'll push on forward with the back end of the flash coming in through as well. Crimson's is going to drop and will be dropped once again, picked back up, but Ashens eventually seals the deal there. So C will go in the favour of Obey Alliance off the back of a push out of A. Good stuff by them. EU's Finest tail between their legs, having to chase away. But a little bit of an overstep from J-Rage there, and that push will be slowed down.
Yeah, it's just the awareness. Good kill by Ashens. Just the awareness there from Jay, just to know that there was someone below him on that cover. Ashens obviously knew. You saw him taking the wide route, but it didn't seem like that was communicated to the rest of his team. In the end, that's a difficult death to take, but Saki managed to get a kill on Hydra, and Crazy's going to fall as well, and this is looking a lot better for Obey now. They're rotating, they're playing fast. Ashens leading this charge as well with that Nasher. He had some fantastic support play in the previous fight now. Trying to get a bit down and dirty with his slaying. He's going to back out.
The problem is for Obey Alliance, they may have played well in this past minute or so, but the damage may have already been done.
Yeah.
EU's Finest will walk away with a cap on the B here. It's only really J-Rage in any sort of position. He's already on the floor, 2-0 now to EU's Finest. Still comfortable for them. Obey Alliance were maybe, threatening to come back into that round, but couldn't quite get it going. Look at Crazed at the top there, 10-1. Phenomenal stuff from him. And let's just have a look over the winter quarter. In total, a 3.29 KDA. He's currently on a 10, so that might improve.
Might indeed, if you can keep it up. It's a tough pace to keep going on, but if there's a person in this league that can do it, it's him. Or maybe Crimson's actually. Crimson's actually all-time, I'll say all-time, last 2 weeks, is actually above Crazed in terms of average, the total KDA. So it's by a couple of points. Just a couple of points.
Just a smidgen.
Yeah, but yeah, he's
I haven't used in a while.
He's doing pretty well as well, so another player to keep an eye on as we go through this.
Well, it's obviously the ANC split, and then Obey are the ones wanting to make the forceful move over towards C. I don't know if EU's Finest have sent anybody over towards B. It seems as if there's plenty of members here to defend their home side. Crazy's going to drop TJ. Phelpsy's going to drop to Breaker as well, but this fight looks like it's going in Obey Alliance's favour. It will go in Obey Alliance's favour. Here comes the push over towards C. Luckily for EU's Finest, they do have a hold of B, and wow, Hydra in the middle of nowhere, no support. Good push from Obey Alliance there.
Yeah, that was good. It looked pretty rough when they had one member drop, but good support. Managed to get him back on his feet. Some great focus fire there with the Nashes just to carry on downing. And in the end, yeah, a very, very good fight. I like what I saw. Have a quick look over the map. Looks like EU's Finest making this push around. Going to be pushing through Obey Alliance's spawn here, just trying to make a push up on A. Crimson's doesn't really know that he's got no one above him. So isn't going to be too bold to make that push. Obey, on the other hand, there, trying to find more kills. Breaker leading that charge. Gets a kill on Hydra and looking for his second now. Does have support. Jack's going to take him out, and Jack also takes out TJ. This could be bad times for Obey Alliance. And that's the issue, right? You're in a 3v1 situation. You let Jack get a down, get a kill, and all of a sudden the map flips on his head, and EU's Finest, they do this so often. And honestly, sometimes this is what they struggle with when they get to that top 6, top 4 in the global scene, is that they can't clutch up like that. You know, they get themselves in situations in the European League. Yes, there's a little bit of flex room for them, but
Yeah.
you know,
That
against the
individual
likes of
skill can come through at a certain
Exactly.
level, can't it? But maybe a little bit more difficult on the big stage.
against Reciprocity, against Mazer, it's
Yeah, there's
Very,
close
very
games that,
tough ask.
you know, these small moments will make a difference. Phelps it up. Does find 2 already. J-Rage and Cook gonna probably have to back down here. Nice shots in. Goes for the clean up and gets cleaned up himself. 4 members of EU's Finest pushing forward now. Looking to get a hold of A. Breaker is dead very quickly. I don't think Obey Alliance are going to be able to get B in time. Not quite. Half a second away and they would have been able to get there, but EU's Finest 3 to the good. This has been very comfortable so far.
Yep, all off the back of that clutch there from Jack. Honestly, 15-3.
Yeah.
He's having a fantastic game as well. And on the other side, looking at Obey, things a little less pretty. A lot of deaths coming in there for Saki, TJ, J-Rage.
Yeah.
A couple of deaths around, but I mean,
Just can't get anything going, can
yeah,
they?
you lose so much control, especially on Vascar. Rotations are very quick.
Yeah, you lose a few bodies and then suddenly you're in a dangerous position. But the talkboat has definitely just popped up on my screen now. What do we get? We get a talkboat either side of things, so maybe this is something that can get Obey Alliance back into this game. Although so far,
I was about to say, we've seen Saki be very good on this weapon in previous weeks. One of the best actually we've had in the European Pro League, so perhaps can make something work. Charging up for his first attempt. Isn't really anything to go for there.
He's going to be pushed by Jack here as well. Oh, he's been stuck as well.
Fantastic
Good shots
stick.
by Saki. That height advantage helping him out. Now we'll be able to get a hold of B off the back of that 1 kill and try to support his teammates here. Watch out, boys. There's a big explodey arrow coming in as well. Here goes EU's Finest. They have to now make the push. And they will just about stop the domination coming through for Obey. But well played by Obey so far. They lingered and they waited for the opportune moment for Saki to influence the battle on the other side of the map. But in the end, they will be able to get it done. It looks like really nice play by Obey Alliance. Crimsons can't get there much better from them.
Yeah, much better round. All starts with that torpedo kill there, though.
The explodey arrow, as I called
The
it.
explodey arrow.
Yeah, regretted that immediately.
Yep. Good. I'm glad. TC reeling in their seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
That's what you
that
should
you
change
knew what
the
it
name
was.
to. You know, Talkbow.
The explodey arrow.
The explodey.
Well, the torpedo is technically the weapon, so you can...
I know, but there's an explodey arrow coming in. He's not throwing the weapon at them, is he?
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
Saying come on like it was me that said it. Oh dear. Back to the game.
Oh, yeah.
Saki
That
did
was a
open it
much
up.
better round for Obey Alliance, though. I mean,
Yep.
just the fact that they were able to hold their own over towards the rivals. Then, of course, the tugboat shot comes through. Saki then starts causing problems. They know they need to move. Nicely done. Worked out well.
Let's find Crimson's on the other torpedo, because likewise, he's had a couple of good games on this weapon as well. See if he has to say exactly the same opportunities here, given that they've switched sides.
Of course, the points have changed, though, so maybe that does influence where everybody is making
that's
their move
true.
over towards. We can see over towards E, there. Both teams are posturing over to this side of the map. I'm just waiting for a break to come. There comes the flash. Here comes Obey. TJ and J-Rage pushing forward. Now J-Rage is going to take some shots, but TJ is going to find one Saki. Kills his teammate. Fortune going to walk in the way of that one, but it won't actually influence the battle as everybody else is dropping from EU's Finest. Not what you want to see. If you're on the side of EU's Finest right now, plenty of kills starting to leak towards the Obey Alliance yet. Has to be said. They are going to get a hold of E. They will get a hold of F as well. They're in the commanding position in this round here, Fru.
Yep, I do like that movement there from Saki as well, just to cut off the rotation through the middle. Perhaps could have maybe got a torpedo shot on that player running through, but he didn't have it reloaded, so went with a pistol and did enough just to delay things a little bit there as TJ kept up the hill.
Surely not. Oh, he will get the hit marker on the Hydron. We'll have to back on down with very little health. Is eventually going to be dropped by TJ. Really good shots by Saki. He's the one that's going to be setting that one up. TJ and Kodo looking to flow through this map and just keep on going. Using that momentum to take them forward over towards D. Big fight coming up here, though. Can EU's Finest get the better on them this time? J-Rage is going to find Hydron, and TJ will find Crimsons as well. Obey Alliance are starting to pick up some kills, and they're fighting their way back into this game. Jack now trying to run away as well, but it just seems as the train of Obey Alliance is just keeping on going. TJ ain't missing, and it's going to be F under the control of Obey Alliance. This may well be another domination. Can Phelpsy do anything about this, though? He's all alone, needs to do something for his team in this round. Not going to happen. The domination may come through, but looking towards D. Is this where EU's Finest can finally shut this push down? Breaker finds one. Can Breaker find a second? Crazed and Co. just trying to hold on. Breaker getting it done for his team. EU's Finest have been holding on to this round for a long time. They will not hold on any longer. Obey Alliance back into the game.
So guns on show there at the end from Obey Alliance. And honestly, a fantastic round led by TJ, just storming through.
It was just one of those things. They got a little advantage. It was head down sprint, and they just kept on going. And look at the stats, much better now.
That's it. After 2 rounds, we gave Obey a little bit of flack after 3 for a pretty rough scoreline. But now TJ 18-7, Saki 18-6. These are the the old guard for Obey. They've been in here for more than 1 quarter now, and they're leading the charge. Pretty much got that backpack on. I like what I saw. I honestly do. TJ not missing a shot at all.
Nicely done. It was that kill specifically over towards the F side of things where he goes around the corner of the back there, as he said, and it was just so clean. TJ getting it done. 18-7 out of him.
Let's have a look at Ashens this time around. We called him out as being the head-to-head one to watch. This time around, he's leading the charge straight into tank. He's going to get Lancer down. It's a heavy Lancer there from Crazen. Jack with the second Lancer supporting from behind the tank. Going to clean up that one. Obey in a pretty bad spot there. Good torque bow there. Explodey arrow from Saki.
It's catching on.
To the floor.
It's catching on.
It is, and if you can do more and more terrain-based damage with this bow, he might be able to open up a push here for his team.
Oh, Hydro not hitting the shots on the TJ there. That looked like a certain kill. Not quite landing it, and the torque bow finally comes through and not able to quite do enough damage. So EU's Finest will just about hold on to their lives over towards the tank side, but the damage has been done points-wise though. D&E.
Breaker getting pushed.
Yeah, do belong to Obey Alliance. Oh, Breaker's in a horrible spot here. He will drop down, just overextended a little bit too much. Crimsons will find that, and E will be EU's Finest prize, but they're going to have to hold on the other side of things. They are going to try and decap F while they're at it. Here, Obey Alliance.
Good call by Obey just to make that push. Obviously, Breaker getting 2v1'd. He made that call, and his team pushed instantly, and that's the type of communication you want to see from Obey. They need to be making use of the advantages that they do have, and they've managed to lock themselves in this double cap once again now. 40 points ahead. Doing pretty well. Having a look on that mini-map at the top right, you can see 7, 9, and 8. They're starting to make their way over. Craze just sat at the back here, holding up. They're trying to make a push on this D hill, but it's so difficult. You need to land your flashbang, especially when Breaker and Saki have got a fantastic angle here. Crimson's with that bow, charging up, trying to get a bit of damage down. Doesn't manage to hit anything just yet.
Looking on the back of Crimson's here, potentially.
There's a kill. Oh, he's just hit the pillar.
Landed it. Ashens is going to have to back on down, but he is weak, so this might actually open it up for EU's Finest. Crazed leads the charge with Crimson's just behind him. Here comes the push. The shot's in. I'm not quite good enough to finally get the kill. Which way is this one going to go? Hydron finds J-Rage. Breaker may just about find the final kill. It's going to be Ashens against Hydron in a fight to clean this one up. Ashens gets it done. Obey, hold on to D and hold on to the lead here.
Nice cleanup by Ashens there. Thought it was going to maybe go in the way of EU's Finest when they started trading out, but in the end, Ashens got that revive off. Got revived, sorry. TJ as well, getting a couple of kills over here. Let's have a look what's going on. Then against Hydra now. Hydra just having to try and get the break here, stop the cap coming in. TJ needs to put himself in the ring. They should be alright, they've got such a point lead.
And the elimination comes through. 3-3 now. 3 back-to-back rounds. I should say. Rounds coming in from Obey Alliance. That is, I mean, after the first 3 rounds, we see what's gone on there. There's no way you would have thought that this would have happened, but EU's Finest being pinned back a little bit here.
Yep.
Have to be careful.
And this is, this is the problem going up against Obey on a map like Vastar.
They've just been stupidly aggressive, which is what Obey were known for specifically last season. They had, I think it was TJ at one point had the most kills, but also had the most deaths.
Yep.
And that just explains it all, really, doesn't it? They just like to get up in your face. He's now 22-7. Tokbo now just going to be cut in half. And I think I've seen a long shot coming through as well. It's obviously indeed on the
down at the
tank side of the map.
And this is an Obey Alliance placement, it looks like. So Obey looking to continue that fight, continue getting down and dirty. Let's have a look what's going on up here. Crazed has managed to pick up the torp by this time around, so a change of weapon owner there. Crimson was prior, but Crimson has actually now got the Retro Lancer, so watch out for that one. Lots of flashbangs coming in now. He's Finest having to back out. Torpo cleanup comes in. That's a nice stick there from Saki, and Saki looking towards mid. Having a reload, seeing what he can do. There goes the flash. Torpo perhaps can charge us up, might be able to pick up another one up. Perhaps looking in the wrong area. There you go, there's the stick. Crimson's dies, just not respecting that weapon whatsoever, and now Crazed 3v1. Can he do anything? The Swarm are dominating around him, though that's the issue. Hydrone's behind him. He's found a nice flank here. 1 second Hydrone, he dived out of the ring. That might have been a costly mistake. He's going to lose his life anyway.
EU's Finest out of nowhere. Nearly had the domination, as you said, but Hydrone not able to quite seal the deal. They're rotating around a lot better here, though, EU's Finest. It was the fact that they hadn't really found any kills and they nearly dominated, sort of.
Yep.
Shows their awareness on this map, Breaker.
Just good heads-up play, right?
Look at the shots here, Breaker. Sniper's difficult in the best of time. Oh my word, the flick onto Jack Vex. Fantastic work by Breaker. His team's still behind in this round, but could that help them get something locked down here? Nobody else around for him to scope out. A really, really nice shot by Breaker.
Yeah, awesome play. Don't usually see the long shot come into competitive play here. Gears 5, but when it does come in and when it does make an impact, it's still one of the best weapons to watch. And Breaker is trying to find a second now. Nothing really lining up for him, really. He needs to, for me at least, needs to be rotating that weapon a little bit more. Use Finest know where he is now. They've managed to lose one head. They don't want to lose any more. They'll be positioning to avoid that sniper. Breaker has moved down a little bit now. He's able to check Hydrone. Hydrone gets cleaned up. J-Rage getting that one. Breaker gets another down with a snipe. Problem is, he's run into 3. TJ, can he clean up?
Oh, he's going to find 2 here as well. Is he, TJ? Not quite. He will be cleaned up. EU's Finest now will have that win condition as they have had throughout the most of this round. 30 seconds remaining for them if they hold on to this 2 cap. Ashen's trying to create some trouble, looking over towards D, but the elimination's going to come on through. Too many kills, and Obey Alliance chalk that one up. 1 round away now from EU's Finest. Taking map number 1. Can Obey Alliance bounce back as if they did in the after the first 3 rounds, I should say. They were really, really good. But there, it just seemed as if EU's Finest just stepped up to another gear, didn't it?
Yep. Yeah. It's so difficult playing against EU's Finest when, you know, you're pretty much going all in for this sniper fight, right? This long shot fight. And EU's Finest, the back of their head, they're thinking, oh, how can we 3-cap around you whilst you go for this weapon? You put all your eggs in a basket, and that basket's off to the side, so... Smart move by EU's Finest. I like what I saw there. We did see the Torpo banned out. Oh, apologies. We did see the Torpo banned out there. Both sides.
Well, ever since it's been in play, it really has benefited Obey Alliance much, much more, so... EU's Finest. You want to try and get that removed. Make things a little bit easier, but here we go. The push is going to come through now over towards the tank. It's actually a 2v3. We'll make that a 3v3 momentarily. TJ's going to be the first to drop, so advantage slightly towards EU's Finest. Crazed & Co just trying to butter them up here. If anything, TJ's going to be dropped again. He won't be able to do that much more.
Oh.
Saki and J-Rage, they're just spraying them down, and the bullets land from Crazed towards the end. Can Obey hang on here? There are actually going to be a couple of drops coming on through. Saki, can he find the shots? Yes, he can. Phelpsy will go down somehow. Obey Alliance survived that.
And you saw all 3 there go down from Obey at once. They must have, been tapping that revive button like no end. They do come out. They did somehow survive that. And they have managed to get Sniper out for their troubles as well. J-Rage, he's going to have it this time around. Let's jump on board to see what he can do with this weapon.
Very wide of the mark there. He's going to have to back on down.
Should be able to get a hit on Hydron here if you can find the angle. Might not get a headshot, but you definitely can get an elbow.
Can't quite find the angle.
There's the
time. Really good shot there by J-Rage. Expected to push through the other side, and that's going to help the rest of his team try and clean this one up. Ashens will find the kill on the Phelpsy, or at least the down, as the push now comes through. Over towards F. EU's Finest are going to have to move away, licking their wounds here. Now, still up in this game. It's not by much. Can Saki and Co get another round on the board here and force around number 9.
Yep. EU's Finest, they had to put more over to E. The 1v1 was being pressured there, and if they'd have lost that, if Crimson had died to TJ, they would have lost this round. And good play by Crimson's in the end, does manage to get that kill. They are just setting up now. You can see on the minimap, EU's Finest, they're sat inside Obey's spawn, like actually in it. They're going to make this push.
And the flash comes back out from Obey to try and slow him down. It may do so as only 2 members of EU's Finest actually make the push up. Good shots by J-Rage. It must have been a weak Jackvex that he connects with. Can he find anything else here? It's going to be tagged up, but the kill is momentarily going in the favor of EU's Finest. That might be enough to get this one done. The elimination's going to come through. Don't think anybody from Obey is close to respawning in. EU's Finest, without their troubles, it has to be said, do take map number 1. In the end, it is comfortable, but those 3 rounds in a row from Obey Alliance did make things a little bit more interesting. They do get the job done there. EU's Finest 1 to the good.
Yep. In the end, they came up close. 31-9 Craze at the top there, so
he's all right, isn't he?
Not quite the 10.0, but yeah, it wasn't a bad scoreline from him. And
I'm disappointed he couldn't have kept it up. So, Craze, if you are watching this match, just know that. Sort yourself out for the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
He's got a next map, another map. So to maybe make amends there, but yeah, there we go. You can see it at the bottom, nice new graphic. EU's Finest 1-0, and honestly, yeah, Obey, they looked like they were coming back into that, and those sniper fights, they were going in the way of Obey. It was just the post initial EU's Finest too strong.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? They seem to know where to rotate to, and it comes over towards that big fight, over towards D, just goes in their direction, and suddenly the round is over. And unfortunate for Obey, I think they can take some positivity from that one and know that they can hang in a few rounds when things start going their way a little bit. They look pretty good, but outside of that, though, it was pretty comfortable. EU's Finest victory. Yeah. Moving over towards the next map, Bunker as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see too much of the same. Last time we seen these two play, I think they played each other twice on this in the Pro League. Obviously, we talk about the time that Obey did obviously go on to beat them online.
Yep.
In the Pro League qualifiers. That's the only time that they've really taken anything off them at all. And ever since then, Obey Alliance, EU's Finest have had their card marked.
They have, and the last time they matched up on this map was pretty much the time that they matched up after that qualifier.
Yeah.
EU's Finest quite blatantly left Bunker open for them, baited them into the pick, and had a fantastic strategy that revolved around placing drop shot at the artillery side and holding it off with an incendiary, whilst basically putting all their eggs in a boom shot on the other side. And it was a very nice set of plays from EU's Finest. They'd obviously thought about how they were going to approach that map.
Yeah.
And they executed very, very well. I'm wondering if something similar is going to come out here, or if we're just going to see kind of standard gears, standard Bunker played, because it's not out of EU's Finest wheelhouse to do something a bit drastic. We've seen snipes go down mid map on districts. We've seen some interesting placements from them over the weeks, and Bunker's another one where you can split the map, you can dictate the play with these drops. So perhaps something snazzy coming up.
Let's see what they do. I think it comes down to, do you prioritize up top control? Is there a reason you'd be prioritizing up top control? Obviously, when we get later rounds, when weapons start becoming available and those mid drops.
Yep.
There's so many questions to ask around Bunker, isn't there? How you want to play it, where you want to control, but we'll find out very, very shortly. We are going to get into this game in a second. I can see everybody is once again in the lobby. We'll be good to go very, very shortly, but I think if it EU's Finest, you want another good start here. You don't want Obey Alliance to get any confidence from those 3 rounds in a row. They may have already shut that confidence down, it has to be said, but still, Obey Alliance will feel as if they can hang in some of these rounds.
Yeah, I think so. I think when we've seen Obey play, was it Regal Reserve last week on this map, or the first week on this map, and they were super aggressive up top. And they were very, 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 very aggressive up top. And that mid control is all this map's about, right? Yeah. It's about finding that line, pushing that line up, and you've got so many lines of defense to try and fall back from when you're being pushed back up on, that it makes for a very, very good hold, that top Bunker.
Yes.
You can support the B fight down at the bottom at the artillery as well. So there's a lot to say about this opening, this initial, and how the teams play it. The aggressive team usually wins, usually wins that opening round. And if you're, a team that's averse to fighting, bit difficult, but we know Obey, they're not scared. No. They like to go in, they like to fight. No. And TJ, he had a fantastic round, to be quite honest with you, in that fantastic few rounds in that last map. If they can continue that pressure rather than the latter rounds, let's get the sniper and sit back kind of gameplay, then they may have a chance. For me though,
Yeah.
you can't go quiet on EU's finest. That's
What-
the issue.
What do you think of the mistakes coming out of Obey here? Because I mean, they're staring down the barrel
Honestly?
of 0 and 3. They can clearly slay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's maybe a little bit too much aggression at times?
It's round closure and not playing to your
Yeah.
advantages. So, as I just mentioned, the sniper, they placed that down themselves, right? That was their placement, that was their pick. They got it out both times, and both times that sniper was, yes, Breaker had a good headshot, but it was ineffective.
Yeah.
It basically isolated one player, and they got a few downs from it, but it's no good because it's a stationary weapon. You're trying to hold a
Yeah.
position, and against EU's finest, who are so good at crafting offense
Yeah.
and pushing setups and finding a way through your armor, it's not a good strategy. You need to be keeping them down in numbers. You need to be offensive against them and push and be aggressive. And that's why we saw Obey come through and be very, very good in the 3 middle rounds there, because you saw TJ just going in, leading the charge, and managing to get those kills early. EU's finest can't set up. They don't have time then to break the strategy down.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just so difficult to even try and decipher the puzzle that is EU's finest, of course. But OB Alliance do have changes they could be making here. I'm interested to see how they do in the second half of the Pro League. Obviously, this winter quarter, when they do have a chance to go up against Riga Reserve and rate it down once again. But I think they'll still be disappointed with their position. Those are the 2 games they should have been looking at to try and win. Right now, though, sitting at 0 and 2, it's not the place they want to be in. I see the map is now loading in. We'll be getting there in a second. But EU's finest good to the one to the good here, I should say. Obey any way back in, do you think, or do you think it's over?
I think it might be over, quite honestly. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, this side, Bunker, they did go on to pick it, so I don't know if it's just the confidence that they had that they know they can beat them because they have beat them on this map.
Yep.
Or do you think it's just a case of let's play our best map, let's just see where we can go with this one?
I think it's that. I think Bunker is a bit of an Obey special.
Yeah.
They picked it quite often, especially in the 4th quarter. It was one of the fallback maps, essentially.
Yeah.
I think it's just going back to what you know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, well, we will get into this game in just a second. EU's finest win the first one 5-3 rather comfortably in the end. Bunker, though, is coming on up. This side of the winter quarter, though, is the only team playing Bunker so far. These 2 is Obey Alliance, of course, losing that one 5-4 against Riga Reserve last week, I do believe. So,
Yep. Yeah.
one of those that
And
it will sting from previous times you played it, but you need to bring something to the table here against EU's finest if you do want to tie this one up.
yeah, and for Obey, this is actually your highest percentage map across the board. It's the only one that's like plus 40%, so it is their strongest map thus far. Obviously, 2 weeks in, data doesn't lie, but perhaps it doesn't tell the whole truth either.
No, I think you're right. But what is telling the truth of how this game is going is having a look at the kill feed in the bottom left.
Yep. Well, this is that super aggro start that I mentioned against Regal. They were very, very aggressive over the top here, and it seems like they've done the exact same thing again. Problem is, you're going to have angry EU's finest coming off spawn now, and that's not particularly the best thing.
No, it's never good. Here comes the push. They are going to get the flash through. Are they going to be able to deny this domination? Not quite. That's a very quick round for Obey Alliance. Well done.
And this is exactly how it opened up against Regal. They did the exact same thing, same strategy. Were very, very aggressive and very, very good at that opening fight.
Well, they get all the kills that they need to there and will secure the round. Not a single kill coming in here for EU's finest, which is somewhat surprising, but either way.
Yeah, I don't know how many rounds we could say that about.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, it has to be said.
Across both quarters, really.
Yeah. Well, where do the grenades come through? Windmill and Lookout. And it's mostly about where do you put your stock in terms of those middle hills, etc., etc. Choosing to build on different side of the map, so to speak. But here's Ashens and Co. Can they get control of up top this time round?
Well, let's have a look. Ashton's going to be that first one in once again. 4-0 on the scoreboard, looking to make it 5 as he's going to push up on Jack, but Jack, this time around, has a bit of an answer. Managed to get a kill on J-Rage, but is traded out. Another big shot there by Ashens. Looks like EU's finest might be starting to grab a little bit of control up here now. Breaker has to hightail it. We are seeing the back and forth now, just trading places, trading shots. In this 2v2 situation, Crimson's has managed to find one as well now. And now Saki, it's up to him. Gonna push across, gonna push very, very aggressively. They found that 1v2 they wanted. Phelpsy, though, he's not having any of this. He's gonna take 2. Jack there for support as well.
Jack there eventually cleaning up as well. Helping his teammate out very, very well. EU's finest Looking good in this round. J-Rage.
Oh.
I mean,
You found a firing squad.
yeah, that's one of those things that we can see them through, obviously, the observer, but wow, that's unfortunate. Be making your way towards everybody in that granny firing the Lancer down, but Obey now in a tough spot.
Yeah, they're going to make the
Try and
push up
get
the hill.
something done. Here we go. 4 men up top. If you are a use finest, you would probably read this one. Now, the problem is here, though, is you got an underground, you got the push through over towards A. Which way do they choose to go?
Yeah, that's just it on this first half. Nothing actually up there to play for apart from that map control, which shows you just how much stock that Obey are putting in it to send 2 up there rather than head towards, you know, the that B hill. They know they can't win that fight. What they have got to do is now maybe make this decision. Do we try and force E's Finest away and open up perhaps a push? And it looks like that's coming through right now. Hydrone perhaps in a good position to defend this, but we'll see. Ashen's got to be very, very careful not to go down. Craze down Saki here. Honestly, a very ineffectual Lancer coming in from Ashen's. His team needs more support.
Not really hitting much. EU's Finest are grinding this one out, but control's been there from Dead Dot, really. They'll be forced away from coming down to the home hill. It's going to be a monumental effort if they aren't going to be able to get anything done here. EU's Finest tied up 1 apiece.
Yep, good control there by EU's Finest. The idea from Obey was good. Try and push up top, try and open up a little bit of damage just to enable that push down low, but there wasn't enough damage coming in from up top. Ashen's just couldn't get the angle. And in the end, his team, they just didn't have the coordination to make that push down bottom. They were in a 3v4 situation, albeit with one person kind of hanging back from EU's Finest. It's still a push into a disadvantage. So,
yeah, 100%.
You really do need that top man, that top person up top. Top many tops. Top. To be putting down the damage.
Well, slightly different weapon placements. Mark set on the side of EU's Finest.
Yep.
The Retro Lancer obviously on the side of Obey. EU's Finest opting for the range, so to speak.
Yeah, never a bad thing on bunker. There's so many positions you can be sat in just to make use of that.
Even if you just hit the top of somebody's head, you know, getting shots down do make the difference to some of these kills. Phelpsy is going to have to back on down after shots from up top. He's going to try and help out.
Oh, good shot there.
Teammate, but not going to happen. Breaker snaps up. Keeps on going. Crimson's, is he the next victim?
Potentially. Tries to get a quick turnaround, doesn't manage to connect there, so now Crimson's stuck in a bad spot. Going to utilize the window, drops out, drops down. And may get a decap for his effort here. TJ takes a bit of damage. Crimson's playing this very, very well. Trying to contain this fight. Isn't able to get anything just yet. Tries to go for that one shot. Very, very weak.
He's played this so well.
Yeah, that's, I mean, he's obviously taken a note out of Crazed book from last week on training grounds. Just giving him the run around, but Swarm, domination is ticking. Perhaps will come in here. Looks like Ashens is going to get cleaned up, and no, there's the domination denied.
Domination is denied, but to use Fantasy, not in a good spot. Well, it was decent play from Crimson's. It's you look at the scoreboard, the top left corner. It's making for grim viewing. Jack is going to find a kill on the breaker though, not before he finds Crazed. Shot's going to go through. Jack just can't quite do anything about this one, but he will be picked back up. Trying to help out his teammate who got the revive through. TJ is going to drop. Drops Jack, but he will be picked up. That should be B going over towards E's fight. OB Alliance, I should say. I was right in the first place. E's fight. I've told you it's going to be a long show for.
It's alright, we'll try and get you through it. This is going to be a difficult push against this Mark. So here, Crimson's just holding a very dangerous spot. Only got 4 shots left in it though, so that is one thing Obey might be in the look about.
Here comes the push. It's going to need to be a fairly decent one because the win condition belongs to Obey here.
Yep.
Ashens is pushed back, but EU's Finest have to do something.
You got to think maybe a push across, try and get the home hill. If they can get the kill on Crazed,
that's what
that'd
they're trying
be
to
huge.
do. That's what they're trying to do. They will find the kill onto Crazed, as will they find a kill onto Hydron and Phelpsy. They're both going to drop. Obey now. Getting things done here on bunker. That lead just insurmountable for me. EU's Finest to try and come back to Not going to happen here. Crimson's going to go down. They get a hold of B as well. That is going to be the end of the round. Or B. 2-1 now. Doing a lot better on Bunker than they were over on Basgar, of course.
Yep. Yeah, that's
2-1 now.
And it is really this opening fight that's determining the round so far. But expect the power weapons to start coming down now. This is where, you know, EU's finest really do start to excel. Is once these bigger weapons start to come down, they can dictate how the map is played. And honestly, that's their wheelhouse. That's where they start to play well. Long shot coming out from Obey. So yeah, definitely something a bit different here. Torque bow coming out from EU's finest. So again, bit of a difference here. We saw the torque bows come out in Vaskar, and you know, they were pretty effective. I'm not going to say they were fantastically effective, but they did their job every now and again.
They did. They definitely favoured Obey though.
Yes,
I agree. To be said.
And long shot, we haven't really seen EU's finest on that, and we won't just yet, given that it's on Obey's side. So.
Well, Ashens has dropped 2. Nice kill by Crimsons though. Tansa back, Crazed is there up top. This big fight in the middle though. Which way is it going to go? Breaker's trying to get something done. It's absolute chaos up top though, and they will eventually clean this one up. Shot's going to come through from over towards B. For all that Obey put the fight down here where they could, they have actually lost the point. So EU's finest not in the worst of spots. I don't think Crimson's meant to do that, in all fairness.
No, me neither.
Shotgun in hand though, what can he do? He's probably going to have to back on down here, not in the best of positions. Now does have some help. Phelpsy is going to drop though. We'll probably go for the revive and we'll probably suffer for it. He's now dropped as well. OB Alliance moving so well as a unit around the map here. They will get a hold of B. We're going to try and go 3-1 up here, Fruit. Be a good position to be in at the halfway point.
Yep, and they're pretty much doing exactly what I was talking about in the pre-show. Just making sure you can't let EU's finest sit and work you out. They're not giving them any time. They're always, in their back and their side, just forcing plays. And at this pace, they can keep up. EU's finest, they're not trying to do anything too crazy to break away from this gameplay. So, Obey, they're being allowed to play this way.
Yeah. Do you think EU's finest maybe not giving them enough respect?
Yes. Yeah. You mean you can see it just by the they're keeping respawning in. They obviously they reset this time around, but in general they're just respawning in and kind of running back at them. You can see right now Hydra trying for the 1v1, but there's 2-3 people in front of him that he doesn't know about, and that's the respect that you talk about, right? Is perhaps.
Well, Phelpsy with no respawns remaining, so he's going to have to play this one slowly if he's wanting to help EU's finest get something done here. He'll have to value his life. Flash grenade in hand.
Yep.
He's trying to use this utility to try and help his team back into it. That's a good flash as well. Lands in there next to J-Rage and Ashens. Phelpsy's gone though. He's dead. But what can EU's finest do? 4v5. Could that be the thing that lights the fire? J-Rage not going to allow it though. Finds a kill, as does Ashens. It's only one player left. That's Jack. He's dead as well. Obey Alliance looking good for this round. 20 seconds away on that win condition. Phelpsy already dead. Hydron probably not going to come back in. They are lucky that it is the halfway point after this round. But Obey Alliance will be the ones going into that halfway point with a 3-1 lead here through. Turn up for the books potentially.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I don't have a hat on, but I would have taken it off if they win this one. It was not something that we thought could happen or would happen at least.
I'm glad you confirmed that you didn't have a hat on.
We're inside, aren't we? It'd be rude.
I mean, I think that. Well, right, okay, look, let's not get into this. I was going to go way too sidetracked there. You're a bad influence. You set me off on these tangents.
Oh, it's my fault, yeah.
Yep.
All right. See how it is.
Everything is.
That's fair enough. I can take the blame.
I am perfect.
Yep. Sure. Sat here. Looking so smug.
Yeah. Wait, I was looking smug?
Yeah.
Hey, what?
I am perfect. Just sat there, just grinning away. All right.
There would be many people who would disagree.
Yep.
TJ, though, what can he do? Lining it up. Just pull the trigger. Nope. Boring.
No one's given the head. That's the thing, right? They know one more round and it's going to be actually a real bad situation for EU's finest, so they can't afford to let slack kills go.
Flash coming out from EU's finest though. They are going to actually find a couple of eliminations straight off the rip there. Obisaki coming back in. There was a drop as well, but it is Obey actually with control of the middle point. No, they get in, they get out pretty much unscathed. Crimson is going to find TJ though,
and that was the Torpo going down as well. So
Torpo there. Hydron's going to drop Breaker as well. So this should now be EU's Finest able to get themselves in a position to win this round. ENF in their favor. Ashens, you got to run. Ooh, must have just about missed that one there.
Yeah, I guess pinged off. Looked like it was connecting, but
looked to line up, but maybe it's just caught the edge of the bunker on the way in. Helpsy's going to continue to survive somehow. Here come the kills. The shots coming through. But EU's Finest continue rolling here. Nobody really around apart from the players coming off spawn for Obey Alliance here to stop D. Being capped by EU's Finest and the domination coming through. Hydro will find TJ though. That could open things up here as the win condition comes up for EU's Finest. Everybody's starting to drop. Ashens is close enough, but is he going to be able to break on through? It's going to be very, very difficult. They keep him away. Well coordinated by EU's Finest. They just rotate where they need to. A couple of gunfights later, and suddenly the round's theirs.
Yeah, they played that nicely. Honestly, props to Obey as well. They didn't respawn back in at the end there. They kind of went, yeah, you know what? Our home hill is in complete control of EU's Finest. Let's save our lives. And that for me is the mark of a good team is to actually be like able to hold up your hands and say this is a lost round. We'll take it forward. And fair play to them, they did that. But EU's Finest, yep. Crimson's opening up with that taunt bow.
Yep.
Fantastic play just to bait in that headshot, take out the sniper. That's exactly what you want from Crimson's on that bow. And you know, we've seen it in maps before. Wasn't fantastic on Vasgar, but in previous weeks has had a big impact with that weapon. And again, this looked looking to be pretty strong on it. That's exactly what you want from your power weapon player.
Oh yeah. For him to be hitting these shots. It's not just as easy as it look. I mean, look, you sometimes watch it and you think, oh, how are these guys not hitting some of these shots? But like the speed and the movement from the top level players just makes things so much more difficult. TJ now with probably the hardest weapon to use of all. Can be effective in the right hands, but not getting anything done right now.
No, nothing at all. Just going to jump on board with Crimson's, see what he's doing with the torp. But we had a big look at TJ last time around with that sniper, that long shot. Crimson just seems to be holding up top here. Is aiming at TJ, isn't able to connect there, but TJ, he doesn't respond either with the snipe shot, and he had an opportunity. Ashens is going to be killing now.
Oh,
let's jump in the middle.
They've got through. Obey Alliance looking to try and get a hold of something here. Crimson's is going to get dropped by Saki as well. Seems as if they are going to answer back with a kill on TJ, EU's Finest. For all that, Obey Alliance got a couple of kills to their name. Can't quite capture E. Right now, though, they're the only ones getting points on the board, but not many points on the board in total. Plenty of this round left to go. Jack, he's in a horrible spot here. I'll tell you what, he finds one. Will back on down, and I mean, that was all that he could have expected, really. I don't think he was ever going to find three, but Obey Alliance eventually gets some control in the middle of the park here, and Saki now will find a drop in a Phelpsy, but here come the rest of EU's Finest. Obey will have to back on down. They still don't have a hold of E. For all that, the pressure that they've had over here, all the kills they have found, they do eventually get a hold of it, but maybe a little bit later than they would have liked through.
Yeah, definitely a lot later. We saw a couple of members of Obey, I can't quite remember who it was, but they ran through mid and they tried to head towards that D hill and perhaps just been a little bit greedy looking for that domination where realistically they should have been looking for that central cap, that neutral cap, and then map control. Ashens and Crazed doing pretty well for their team just to hold it in a neutral state. Ashens getting that, not Ashens, sorry, TJ managed to find the kill there at the back as well. So in the end, just a scrappy fight, quite honestly. And yeah, as you said, EU's Finest did well to hold on. Obey would have liked more.
EU's Finest though, get the T-cap. Now they look for the kills. They're looking like they're going to swing in their direction as well. TJ is somehow still alive. Between a rock and a hard place there, wasn't it? Eventually is dropped. Maybe should have got the hell out of Dodge a little bit sooner. As EU's Finest will now take control of this round. The win condition will probably go into their favour in a second, as soon as they get a hold of E. 56 seconds away. Hydron in a spot that I can't imagine Obey Alliance are prepared for.
No, Jay Rage. I mean, if he watches this back, he'll probably think he got away pretty lucky there.
I mean, it's such a great spot as well because you can just move in so many different directions on the map wherever you need to. You can cut off so many of the points and look at the rain of fire here. I mean, what do you do if you're Obey Alliance? Yeah, it's like shooting fish in a barrel for Hydron. For all that the shots aren't difficult to hit, the fact that he's found himself in that position and had the awareness just to hold his nerve and just wait for the push to come through. He's just shut down that push from OB Alliance very, very quickly. Saying that though, up top, they managed to get a hold of E, and Saki's going to defend over towards the home hill here. OB Alliance looking to try and get it done here. Jack is going to go down as well, and all of a sudden,
They're going to win.
They're going to win this round. Wow. I mean, how has that even happened? It just seemed as if EU's finest were all alive.
Yep.
But then all the points just started ticking on down.
Fair play to Saki. He's won a couple of back-to-back 1v1s there, which were big for his team.
To be honest, I don't even think he needed to win that one. I think they would have been fine anyway by the looks of things.
They were doing work at E. They got the decap. TJ was all the way over at the other home hill as well, so perhaps not.
Well.
Double torque bows down now.
Here we go. EU's finest need 3 in a row.
Block coming in perhaps? Or are we going to see an upgrade? I think we might be seeing a timer reduction here if they're hovering that. That tells me, yep, there we go. There's the timer reduction. So they're going to have that torque bow up twice as fast now, 75 seconds on that respawn, rather than the 150 of OB Alliances. But, you know, if the round's over quick, it doesn't make much difference.
Well, we said we thought this would be a quick 2-0 for EU's finest, but they are struggling here on bunker. This is the pick for OB Alliance, and obviously they feel as if they've adapted their game on this map.
Yep, 100%. I think the... I mean, Jack just cleaning up everybody.
Yeah, you can't adapt much to a full kill feed of blue from EU's finest. F&E is now in their favour. Breaker in a bad spot. They've just kept running forward as well. Look at the push coming through. Crimson's trying to aim up out on a Breaker here who will be pushed, but it's just wasting time. Having that torque bow up there is just pushing them back in, but the rest of the team are going to be able to come off spawn, and they will be just about to defend D for a while. Hydra and Craze going to go down, as is Jack, so you have to back on down if you are Crimson's EU's finest. Just about get away from this one. OB Alliance holding on in this round.
Yep, nice retake from OB, honestly. Breaker did a lot just to draw attention to himself.
I'm surprised he got as far as he did.
Yeah, and you know that did definitely help his team there, just to get back off spawn. Good talk about coming in from Crimson. There is a down here. There should be a cleanup. TJ, can he get that? Yes, he can. Decap should come on E quickly now, as Ashton's going to be the one trying to push up on Hydra. Difficult task. Hydra does fall though. Crazed going to go for that revive. Pistols come out now. Obey Alliance. They're looking like they're able to clutch up, but no. Crazed and Jack coming back once again. Managed to get a couple of kills on the board, but E does go in the favour of Obey. They need the points now.
Yep.
So far behind.
Yeah, that deficit is quite high. The win condition still should be with OB Alliance if this does stay as a 2-cap for the rest of the round, although I'd imagine we're going to see some changes happen. Phelpsy and Cope are going to have to be the ones to make a move here. TJ in the power position up next to the boxes next to E. Nashin's waiting for the push as well. But EU's finest know they have time here. They know that 50-point lead will give them the opportunity to set up. It's a 70-second win condition for OB Alliance here. Breaker's down low as well. Here comes the flash up top. TJ and Cole, they actually want to push it out, and then we can see EU's finest at the back on down. They don't have the numbers for this one. They're waiting for the fight to come through over the top here. Crazed is going to go down, as is Jack. OB Alliance in the ascendancy here through. Can they manage to take a map off EU's finest? Jack is eventually going to go down, but can EU's finest clutch up like they so often do? TJ is going to be dropped, as is J Rage. That's an important kill coming in there by Ashens, just about holding on to E. He will be pushed out himself, but he may have just slowed down EU's finest enough here.
May have spraying and praying with that Lancer. Crimson's comes out with that torque bow, managed to get the kill in the end. The win condition is swapping, but yeah, the E goes in Obey's favour, at least, while the decap comes in. Is that enough just to tip things? It might be just a second or so in it. We're going to have a look at the top left in just a sec. No, Obey Alliance, they need another couple of points. They need another decap or two. And E-Hill looks to be the way they're going to go. J-Rage just get one. Phelps is going to fall here now. EU's finest on the back foot.
EU's finest. Are they going to be able to get this one done on a 1-cap? They're keeping them off E as long as possible. Good shots by Jack as well. That might help them just about secure this one. If you're Breaker and Co, you're going to have to jump onto it. Jack just trying to slow this one down, and they do have to get on going here. Ashens is going to go down to Hydra. This push coming in from J-Rage needs to be solid. He's going to find one. He's not going to find the second. Phelpsy will just about secure that one for EU's finest, who have been pushed to the limit here. Obe, still one round to the good. Still 2 more in a row needed from EU's finest.
So close there by Obey. So close. You kind of think if they could have just locked in that E-hill just ever so slightly quicker there at the end, they'd have been in a much better situation. But no, EU's Finest just clawing on, just holding on. Good kill there by Hydron as well to secure the home hill.
Yeah.
If he'd have died there in that situation, there was potential that Obey could have come in and got the decap just in time. And with 2 caps in their favour, they would have been in a very, very good situation. Tortbow getting taken down to 75 seconds now. M-Bar on the map as well. Down at that bottom right-hand corner in the radar tower. To the sniper on the other side as well. So lots and lots of power weapons, lots of range on the map at the moment, and this is something we don't see often. All 4 kind of home hill slots full with power weapons, full with range weapons.
So everybody's going to be running into the middle. Arm to the teeth.
The flash.
The flash going to come through. Phelpsy in a real bad spot here. He's been left alone as well. Not too sure what the rest of EU's Finest are doing there. In that case, Phelpsy really was left on an island on his own. Oh my god, look at the flurry of kills going to come through. It's only Jack that is answered back with a kill on TJ. By TJ, I should say. Looking towards the respawns, pretty even across the board. Saki and Co trying to find Hydron. TJ gonna have to pick his teammate there, gonna have to back on down. I think he got tagged up there as well as he goes in to try and save Saki, but can he avenge him? Oh, the good shots in the Hydron, but it's not going to be enough. E is going to go into the hands of EU's Finest. Talkbow shot going to come through. Doesn't quite land. Maybe rush that one. And F is in the sights of EU's Finest here. Phelpsy's lingering around. Ashen could do with cleaning him out. Phelpsy doesn't want part of this fight. He wants to get out and try and help his team. He's going to go down though. Good chasing by Obey Alliance, who will hold on to this round, but it is EU's Finest in control.
It is indeed. They've still got that M-Bar alive. They've still got this Tortbow alive. I don't know if there's any shots in them, but they definitely do have the weapons up. Big fight going down here at D. Hydron struggling a little bit. Saki almost had him there, but Hydron turns around, managed to get that down in the end. Secures his home hill. Did have some support coming off spawn, so probably would have been alright even if Saki had got that kill, but now the push comes in from Obey Alliance. They're looking for this E-hill. They've managed to get it. There is going to be a push over from Hydron now. He's going to meet Saki at the other end of the map. They're going to restart this fight once again. Saki got a lot of damage down. Should have help from his team. Saki just needs to hold the angle.
He did decap F there, though.
It's a nice decap, but you see now 3 members of Obey Alliance, just not Obey Alliance, EU's Finest, sorry, sitting up on this ledge here, stopping Obey from getting this Tortbow.
Oh, here come Obey. They're starting to get aggressive. There's 4 members pushing in the same direction. But Ali just going to be going in the fire and the flames of Crimsons, who finds 2, just keeps pushing forward as well. He is going to get tagged up by Ashens, though, so we'll have to back on down, but he backs down into the point to help his teammate out. Ashens then backing up.
Yep.
To E, the only point that OB Alliance have a hold of right now. The lead is EU's Finest.
Just look at the cards on the left. 3 Tortbows in the hands of EU's Finest now.
Just note that Phelpsy 0-4, but look at the respawns on the side of things. So OB Alliance as well. They're going to start coming into play. So Saki, J-Rage, and Phelpsy will all not be respawning. OB Alliance do have hold of E. They did get a hold of their home hill as well, but Crimson's with a good shot on the J-Rage. He's now out. Phelpsy finds Breaker, who's not far from it. Saki's already tagged up as well, trying to get back to his home hill to try and defend. Yeah, he's dead. He's back in the respawn queue. That will not be ticking for him. EU's Finest should get this one done. Just too many men on the map right now, and that is going to force a round number 9. Obey Alliance, you're surely not going to crumble here. Surely not.
I mean,
4-2 up. It's now 4-4.
A round 9 is something, you know, we all shout for, but if you're Obey, you could have cleaned this out a couple of rounds ago now. And honestly, they've looked very good. It's just been that closure. You know, we talked about it.
I mean, it's been their biggest problem, full stop, hasn't it? You know, we've had round 9s from them.
They just
I don't
struggle.
think they haven't won one round 9 out of, I think, the 3 or 4 they've played now, so far.
Yep.
This will be the 3rd one, sorry.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, Disable comes in for the tugboat on the side of Obey Alliance. I can only imagine EU's Finest are going to get theirs disabled also.
And now Sniper versus M-Bar. Sniper should have the advantage in that fight in terms of pure 1 versus 1, just given the charge up time of the M-Bar, but in terms of actual utilization, in terms of how easy it is to help your team get kills, that M-Bar is definitely the weapon you'd want, because those body shots, they hurt, and especially when Crazed is the one firing at you with it. 3 shots in it. TJ with that sniper on the other side.
Seems as if EU's Finest are quite happy to allow Obey Alliance to get a hold of this now. We can see it's basically a line across the map here. EU's Finest more back down towards F.
You don't often say that about EU's finest, right?
No.
Where they're the ones backing down. But sometimes, you gotta be truthful about your position. Are we winning these fights? Do we have to find a different way? And that different way seems to be at the moment through Craze, through this Ember.
Maybe they're just working for one kill to come through.
That's all they need.
The reload comes through from Crazed. Maybe it's on the back of his Ember. Here comes the push though. The flash comes through onto TJ. He can't do anything with that sniper. He's now in no man's land. The wrong weapon out. He's now dead. TJ and Co. trying to hold on here. Hydro will get dropped. Crazed will find Ashens though. E is being decapped. They may well cap it themselves here. EU's finest. It's a very nice break. A tense round here so far.
It is, but still 40 points behind, so 20 seconds they need before they're even evening things out here. And now the push from Obey.
Well, Phelps is not in a great spot there, but he is going to be able to back on down. Breaker's going to take shots from behind as well. He's in a spot here. There's 4 people from Obey Alliance up at Bunker, but the shots coming through from Crimson's down low. Saki and Breaker go down. Breaker sent back to the respawn cube, and as is Jack.
Yep.
Ashens has pushed forward here, but he's in a bit of a bad spot. Hydron from behind as well. He's going to actually be focused by a couple of people. Hydron's going to have to be careful here. They're going to try and just single him out and try and get rid of him, but the rest of EU's finest do push up while he is distracting as best he can and still surviving. Ashens could do nothing as he's dropped, but as is Crimson's. Obey Alliance, this is a big fight for them. Hydro now is going to drop 1. He's going to drop 2. Crazed cleans this one up as well. Is this surely a Obey Alliance coming back into it? Hydro and Crazed now do drop. Absolute chaos up top in Bunker. Crazed is going to be dropped too, but it's still EU's finest in control.
Yeah, J Rage, unsung hero right at the back there, just putting so much damage down. Breaker might have made a mistake here. Crimson's almost gets that down, but once again, Obey's team, they do come through. Obey, TJ, both on 0 now. Hydron as well, he's on 0. This is going to be right down to the wire. The points are almost even. Swarm will win, but look at the points for EU's finest. 200 now.
Swarm win condition, but EU's finest need to make a move in the next 30 seconds. The thing is that they know. I don't even think the respawns are going to come into it. I don't think there's time for them to come into it. Jack is going to decap. Massive from Jack. He's going to survive as well. Crimson's is there to help him. The Ember's on the way up from Crazed as well. Really, really big decap. They're actually going to try and cap it as well. How are Obey Alliance just letting this happen so easily? It's great play. They're going to have to engage. They engage and they drop as well. Hydron's going to go down, as is Breaker. Crimson's gets that kill, but it's going to be too much for Obey Alliance. They crumble once more. And EU's finest just make it look too easy. How are they able to push through? No kills, no shots, decap capture, win the round 5-4. Obey Alliance just do not answer.
Right in front. It was right in front of two members there from Obey, and they just let them decap. What a shame for Obey Alliance, but EU's finest, they took what they took what they were given, right?
Yeah.
They managed to get through. Crimson's 32 and 8 in the end. And there you can see it on your screens. 5-3, 5-4. EU's finest coming out with that 2-0 victory.
If I was in the Obey Alliance camp, I'd be wondering what happened there. I know these decaps can come through, and it's not so easy just to hit a player who is, moving, strafing around. It's not as simple as it obviously looks. But at the same time, if you're Obey there, you are behind. You need the 2 cap to win. You've got to go. You just have to go. There's no two ways about it. It doesn't matter how many people you have there. You have to get in there, get sticky at least to try and stop it. And he didn't really take much damage or anything. Yes, okay, he did drop, but then Crimson's came through. Good play from EU's finest, you have to say at the same time. But maybe just a little bit too easy there.
Just way too easy, to be quite honest with you. It was exactly that. Perhaps they're looking at it like, if we die in this 2v2, we lose this map.
If you don't do anything, you lose this map.
Exactly, right? If you let them decap, if you let them get that cap, you're going to lose anyway. So you at least take the fight that you have some semblance of control in, right? Rather than the one where you're just giving the controls to EU's finest.
And it's the proactive player from EU's finest that gets them in. Like, let's give them credit. They run 3 rounds in a row towards the end there.
It's a good comeback. It is. It's bouncing back. You're right at the jaws of defeat. And
even when Obey were up 4-2, there was still always something in my mind EU's finest is probably going to clutch up here. It's just what they do. Yes, okay, we can maybe berate Obey a little bit, but we don't want to be too harsh on them. EU's finest, for me, they're fantastic, and any time that they do seem to need to turn up, they did it against Regal Reserve a couple of weeks ago. Things were looking pretty bad on Icebound. They left a few down, and suddenly, bang, it's 5 down, and suddenly they've won the game. So fantastic stuff from EU's finest. Once again, they remain undefeated on maps and, of course, in games. Obey Alliance will stay at rock bottom. They will have another chance, though, against Regal Reserve and Rated R in the coming weeks. Speaking of those 2 teams, though, the game coming up after this quick break. Don't go anywhere. This one should be a cracker.